Today we're going to do a bit of a Gloriosum propagation update. I hope you guys want to watch. If you do, stick around. We'll get to it. What's up, my plant people? My name is Stacia, and this is Oops, I Soiled My Planties. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those of you coming back, welcome back, you crazy kids. Today we're going to do a little bit of a Gloriosum propagation update. This is the first one. This one, it still has all the leaves, as you can see. They're still there. I've got it in sphagnum, and it actually sits right over here on this shelf that gets morning light the majority of the day. Like today, it's kind of overcast. It's been a pretty crappy day out here, but this is Florida this time of year. And then this is the other Gloriosum propagation that I had initially started in water, and I moved it to this sphagnum with the bag. And the bag is just to keep the humidity, so I keep that nice and warm in there. So they still have leaves. They're still doing pretty good. I am going to show you the Gloriosums that I did in the box, and you'll also get to see me do a couple of things with those. So, okay, so this is the rest of the Gloriosum. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's mold in there. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to pull all of this out. I'm going to wash both pieces of the Gloriosum, get them all washed up and nice and neat and clean, and then we will put them in new sphagnum after I clean the tray and all. We'll get them put in new sphagnum, back down in here, and back over there where they're not going to turn green again. All right. Where is my sprayer? There it is. All right. So this is just Super Thrive water I'm putting in my sprayer here. So what I've done is I went ahead and I washed as much of the old moss off of these as I could. And then I am going to take some of this orchid moss. I'm just going to put it down in the bottom of the pan. Okay, spread it out a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with some Super Thrive water. Go ahead and get that nice and moist. Oh, it's still spraying. Okay. A little more. All right, now I am going to make a little almost hole and kind of nestle this guy in like so. So it's, you know, the moss is really surrounding the stolon, and it's going to get nice humidity, and it's got something to soak up the super thrive with. And then I have this little piece of Adansonii that I'm just going to kind of set in here, and we'll see what happens with it. But it's not my main concern anyway, honestly. So that is what the new box looks like, all clean and pretty. I am going to put it in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it over there on my shelf, and I'll show you where it's going to live. Okay, so its home is actually going to be right down here next to the Cissus box. That's where it's going to live, and we'll check on it again soon. All right, folks, so I'm sorry if this is a little shaky, but this is one of my Gloriosum propagations. You see all these roots? So what I'm going to do right now, because I'm going to cut off this little bit of bad stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and pot it up in this pot right here. Let me get a better camera angle so you can see what I'm doing, and yeah, we'll get it done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this potted into this pot here. My normal mix. The other aerids seem to love it. Now I want you to see what I do, because you don't want to bury the stolon. You want the roots to go under, but you want to keep about half of this above the ground, because these are crawlers. These are not actually, they don't actually grow up. I'm sorry, they don't vine. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to dig out some room for those roots down there and kind of get those buried. And y'all know I'm a messy repotter, so don't expect this to look amazing, okay? And please don't expect my repotting area to be luxurious when I'm done, because I am messy at this. So now, because I have this little leaf growing here from the bottom of the stolon, what I am going to do is put soil around it, but not try to like put too much of the big heavy pieces of orchid bark down that way. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is clean up my area quickly. Okay, so that's how it looks potted up. I have this buried a little, but not much. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to water this in, and I'll show you the rest of the propagations. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, because I know this likes humidity, I'm going to take this bag and I'm going to put it over it. But before I do, I'm going to cut a couple of these little pieces of bamboo down. Just to hold the bag up off of the leaves. So when the leaves start to open up, the bag's not going to touch down on them. But it is also going to hold in the humidity. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this over here on my shelf. Alright, you guys, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, absolutely leave them down in the comments. If you have any recommendations for something that I'm not doing right, that I maybe should, or not necessarily right, but maybe something that'll help make this a little bit better, it would be much appreciated. Make sure if you like this content, you go down, you hit the thumbs up, give me a subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell and mark all so you can see more of my uploads. I don't necessarily upload all the time, but I do upload this kind of stuff as regularly as I can. So I hope to see you guys again. And as I always say here on my channel, come back. Let's hang out again. Bring your friends. If you don't want to bring your friends, that's cool, because you guys are the reason I'm here and I'm doing this. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace out. Today, we're going to do some updates on some I feel weird when the neighbors are walking by.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.